Hey family, hope all is well. For a lot of us, God wants to show us who we are without the crutches. The crutches could be anything for you. Everybody's different. Um, Crutches could be alcohol, right? Maybe you feel more confident with alcohol. Maybe alcohol helps you to, block out whatever it is that you don't want to deal with in your life, right? That could be a crutch. Um, that could help you. A lot of people drink to be more social, right? Um, and in turn, right, essentially they're blocking out, right? They're not confronting what makes them um, uncomfortable with social settings, right? So they might use alcohol, and people can use, right, it could be many different things you use alcohol for, but alcohol can be a crutch for you. Music could be a crutch. A lot of people escape through music, instead of dealing with whatever, right, instead of confronting with whatever is going on in their life, they might use music. Some people use partying, some people use other drugs, um, some people use people. Some people just use people as a filler for their day. As a filler for their day, they have to be around people. They have to be talking to people. They got to be on the phone constantly. They have to be around people. Some people use money. Whatever it may be, that could be your crutch. But God wants to show his children who they are without the crutches. Without the crutches. And that could be a scary task, right? But I'm specifically speaking to the people where they know that their time is up with the crutches. Right? They've had, right? It's like season 7, right? Shows rarely go to season 7, right? Shows rarely go to season 5. It's like a sweet spot of 4 to 5 with shows, right? You might be on season 7, right? You might do a Grey's Anatomy, you might do a Law and Order, right? And you might be far beyond, right? Far exceeding your time with your crutches. God wants to show you who you are without the crutches, who you are without that, really, that escapism. Whatever you're using to escape, he wants to show you who you are without that. Um, and like I said, it could be a scary time, and it also could be an exhilarating time. Specifically speaking to the people that you know that your time is up. You know that your time is up with these specific crutches. It can be an exciting time, right? Because you're ready for the new. These specific people that I'm talking to, you're ready and you're anticipating something new, something big, something different. You're ready for the new. You're ready for the different. So I don't know who this message is for, but God is saying that he wants you to experience who you really are and tap into who you really are without the crutches. Delve into that person. Like, if music is a crutch for you, I want to add this real quick. Right, for those of us that are coming out of old habits, right? God may still use, things that we've picked up in the world, to show us things and to use it as an example. But I want to say this, right? For those of you who are familiar with Timbaland, who is a American producer, a hip hop slash R&B, whatever you want to call him, producer, and as well as Missy Elliott, Tweet, right? I'm gonna get into it. So I used to watch this show called Unsung, which is like a kind of like a behind the scenes documentary of different musical artists, in hip hop and R&B, soul, and they will go behind the scenes, right? So they will always talk about this group called The Basement, right, which consisted of I believe Jodeci, Tweet, Timbaland, Aaliyah, um, Player. It's a few different people, right? So, but the concept that I took from this, right? They said that back in that time, which was the 90s, that sound and that different sound that Aaliyah had and Timbaland and Missy had, that came from them. I guess they called their crew the basement, or the studio was called the basement, right? That different sound that they had came from them going in the basement and tuning everything out. They would tune everything out. They wouldn't listen to any other artists. They would tune everything out, and then they would come up with, right? They would just see what they would come up with. And that's how those different sounds that they created, those timeless, those innovative sounds that they created, that's how those came about, because they went into the basement. And God wants his children to go into the basement. Go into the basement. Tune everything out. Take away the crutches, right? Take away the crutches. If music is a crutch for you, right? God may want you to switch up your music, switch up your playlist, right? Because a lot of the times we're tuning into certain music that brings us back to a time when we were operating as our lower self. Before we were risen with Christ, right? A lot of the times we're tuning into different frequencies and different music that brings back memories of a time when we were operating as our lower self, right? So God may want you to change the frequency of your music. Change the frequency of your music. And for those of you who are music heads out there, that could be a struggle, right? But it's needed. Like I said in the video, this is an exciting time for you, because you want the change. You need the change. You're expecting the change, right? So I just wanted to add that God wants his children to go into the basement. Go into the basement, right? Dig deep. Remove the crutches, and allow God to show you who you are without the crutches. All right. So I hope that blessed somebody. I hope that was conveyed to you how God gave it to me. But I love y'all. I hope that blessed somebody. I love y'all. Be blessed.